welcome to Sanctuary Veg Garden, and today I want to show you around the rest of my little plot, and just to try and explain a little bit more about the site that I garden at. It's my back garden, and it's primarily a garden for the family, and it was never intended to be a veg garden really, although I've dabbled over the years, but this year I think with the madness going on outside, I have come back to the garden more and more, and like a packet of about 20 seeds at Christmas has just kind of started me off on the journey of vegetable growing big style. And I've been really inspired by some of the other YouTubers out there who show how they garden, and I wanted to do the same, just to try and inspire other people. So here you can see my squashes, and this is my pride and joy, my butternut squash, and it has got a few fruits on it already. They're grown great, and it just trails along here, and because they normally trail in soil, I've just put it under a little tray of soil there to see if it'll take root, just so it can get some extra nutrients into the plant, and that just lies on the decking. And these are some more, that's a random broccoli there, and some courgettes, and we've had quite a few courgettes off that already. That's been a great plant, and although it has had a little bit of mould on, it seems to be good at the moment. And these are another butternut squash plant. I actually made a mistake with this plant. I cut one of the really big runners off. I had a great runner, and I was trying to cut one of the try to cut it down a bit, and I ended up cutting a really long one off, which I was disappointed at. But it's a lesson learned. Everything in a garden, there is a lesson learned. And here is some of my outdoor tomatoes that are doing really well in the heat that we've had. This is a little blackberry plant. Well, it was little when I planted it. It was this tiny little thing, and I put some onions around it, which have come out now, but that's going great. And that's one of two raspberry bushes. Got some cheap raspberry plants, and I've planted them, and they seem to be doing well. There's one of my red tomatoes already red. That's amazing for this time of the year. And down at this point of the garden, it's like a little gully at the side of the house, and it just seems to be like a little microclimate, and things just really grow well here. And it kind of goes to show that it doesn't matter what space you've got, there's no excuse to not grow something, because things will grow if you give them a little bit of sun and a little bit of water and a good soil. You've got things like this kohlrabi growing, and I've never even heard of a kohlrabi before this year, and here we are eating kind of strange vegetables. Another tomato plant that's grown well in one of the bags that I've got, and that's a winter squash, and that's doing really well on this plant here. I don't know where it's going to climb to, but it's doing really well. And that wasn't planted that long ago, maybe it's a month at most. This is a little apple tree we bought, because I always wanted an apple tree, so we bought this. It's doing okay. It's a tiny little thing, but hopefully it'll grow. And that is one of the first ever herb boxes that I planted. This is this blueberry plant was just a stick in the ground, and it looked dead. And we planted in this, and here it is. It's starting to grow, so it is actually, compared to what it was. It's a lot better. And this is one of the hanging baskets, and I more or less planted this from seed or cuttings that I'd taken. This is my new herb basket, and if you can see at the back here, I've just got this curry plant that smells amazing. It just smells properly of curry. It's my second raspberry plant, the half price raspberry plants that we got. Some spare tomatoes that were just put there, and they seem to be fruiting well. And my sunflowers, that I got a box of different sunflowers, and they've all grown, and they've been amazing. So good to watch, make you smile, sunflowers. As you can see on the patio, so even if you've just got a little patio, here we are growing things in containers. I'm getting this kind of tomatoes off, and here's another blueberry bush, and this was just a half dead thing, and it seemed to have be doing really well. Now this tomato, about a month ago, it snapped, and it's just amazing. I can't understand how it stays alive, but it is alive, and it's still fruiting. So this is a bucket where I've got some potatoes out. I've tried some pak choi that's gone to seed, but I have actually planted some Chigoya beetroot, so I'm going to see how that grows in containers. Some more tomatoes that I've got there, and that was a rosemary plant that I took as a cutting, and that's taken off this year, big style. Some more tomatoes, and these are my leeks, and these bags had the early potatoes in, so I've got them out and I've planted up my leeks and they're looking great. I think I might try and maybe earth them up a little bit, because I think that's what you're supposed to do next, but I've never grown leeks before, so it's an adventure. I've stuck some more herbs down here. I tend to try and keep mint in pots, otherwise it does take over. So I've got a pot of mint there that's grown really well in the shade. It likes the shade, and this little side of this garden, it just grows. I mean, that bay tree, it's a massive. And I don't know where it gets its water from or anything, but the plants really do well in that little side gully. I've got some lemon balm there as well. We've just cleared under this tree of all the weeds, and that's some lamb's lettuce, and I love lamb's lettuce, so I really hope it grows. Now, this is an apple tree that grew from seed, but it's never grown an apple, so I've just, out of interest, grafted one of the other smaller apple tree branches on, and it seems to have kind of taken a little bit. It's not dead, so fingers crossed. And I've got my lupins. They've been amazing this year, those lupins. And hydrangea, that's taken off this year because we've cleared this area. There's a big bushes there. We've cleared all of them off, and we've made a pumpkin patch. There's squashes in there, all sorts of different squashes, and they've taken forever to grow. Being these tiny little plants, and all of a sudden they've just taken over everything. And there's some beans there at the back as well, some various different beans, and I also planted some calendula flowers in front. I've been collecting the petals. Hopefully it'll make something with those. And this is just the border, and just to show you how I've shoved vegetables in the border, I've got my Totandale kale there growing underneath these 3 broccoli plants, and there is some broccoli. I've had so much broccoli off these broccoli plants, but I've had so many plants, I just stuck them anywhere and they've grown. Here's a random sunflower that I planted because I had too many sunflowers, and that's grown. And there's the second Totandale. I've got another one in the greenhouse that's grown amazing. But just popping things in the soil and seeing if they grow. You can grow things anywhere. So I hope this has inspired you a little bit, and I will go into some more detail on some of the container plants in further videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.